It's the Texas weather discussion video for Wednesday, the 22nd of November. I'm Donovan Neal. Welcome to the busiest travel day of the year for all of the continental United States. North Texas remains quiet and pleasant for today, but what about the weather for Thanksgiving Day, Black Friday, and the Iron Bowl on Saturday? Many things to talk about here. Hopefully we'll answer all of your questions. Let's take a look at the water vapor satellite view across the continental United States. The main trough axis that brought all of this pleasant weather here for this Thanksgiving week is now shifted off to the northeast. A new trough develops in the Gulf of Mexico, which may bring some potential heavy rain to the Florida Peninsula on Thanksgiving in coming days. But here where we're at in North Texas, we remain quiet and dry. A little chilly here in North Texas, with temperatures basically in the mid 40s here in the DFW metro area, and I think we should warm to the mid 50s at the peak of the day today. Significantly cooler than yesterday. Across the nation, a new surge of cool Canadian air comes in from the north, and in some places near Minnesota and Iowa, and some of the adjacent areas, they're looking at temperatures in the teens in some locations, in some of those adjacent locations. Wow. But ultimately, on Thanksgiving Day, I think for those locations, it should ultimately trend warmer. Out on the watch warning map for the United States, it is surprisingly quiet for this time of the year. Pick any location on this map, it is quiet and dry. Amazingly quiet and dry for this time of the year. And amazingly quiet and dry for the U.S. in terms of thunderstorms. Other than a place of thunder for Florida Peninsula, no areas of thunderstorms for the continental United States for today, on Thanksgiving Day, and on Black Friday. Most of the U.S. remains in a dry, stable air mass. So other than the Florida Peninsula, where a broad area of low pressure is there, most of the continental United States remains dry. This is the average rainfall for the next 3 days. This is valid through November 25th. This is valid through Friday, Black Friday. And you can see most locations in North Texas remains dry. Most locations in the U.S. remains dry on that matter, other than that corridor in the Pacific Northwest and that corridor in the Florida Peninsula. Most locations in the continental United States remains dry, and out in the tropics, in the Atlantic Basin remains quiet and dry, and the Pacific remains quiet and dry for the next 48 hours to 5 days. Hurricane season ends on November 30th, so you can basically say that's a wrap towards hurricane season. So let's go out to the model output. This is the GFS. This is the 06Z run, valid today at 12 noon. At 500 millibars, this is about looking at around 18 to 20,000 feet off the ground. Pick a number, and you can see that trough in the Gulf of Mexico. And down here where we're at, it remains quiet and dry for the rest of the U.S. for the busiest travel day of the year. Pick anywhere in the U.S. It's pretty much quiet, other than heavy rain in the Pacific Northwest and some snow squalls in the New England area. But the bottom line is much of the United States remains dry for today. But on Thanksgiving Day, we trend even drier. But the only new thing to note is a new broad area of low pressure entering the Florida Peninsula, which may bring some heavy rain to that region. But other than that, most of the United States remains dry. Here's the temperatures coming off the GFS. Most locations in the U.S. remains above freezing in most locations, which is outstanding for Thanksgiving Day. Just a nice, pleasant day in place to celebrate Thanksgiving here in North Texas. But where we are at in North Texas, we should remain dry with seasonal temperatures in, I'd say, about the 70s in most spots. And let's go out and hear the temperature anomalies for coming off of the GFS. Most locations in the central and western part of the U.S. remains above average in terms of temperatures, which should be great. Which means we don't have to see any above average. We don't have to see any chances of freezing for for the western and eastern, for the western and central CONUS. Let's go out to Friday. This is Black Friday. Let's go out to Black Friday. This is the November 24th, which is obviously Black Friday. North Texas remains quiet and dry, mostly sunny with highs in the mid-70s. And much of the continental United States remains dry as well. Let's go out to the Iron Bowl on Saturday the 25th. Mostly sunny here in North Texas, again with highs in the low 70s. But if you're traveling out to the Iron Bowl in Alabama, you can expect highs in the mid to upper 60s in most spots. Sunday, pretty much the same thing. We still remain in a quiet, dry air mass. And let's go out to Monday of next week. For North Texas, we remain mostly sunny with highs in the low 70s. Same thing on Tuesday. And a week from today, Wednesday, the 29th of November, most of the continental United States above average in heights, and down here we still remain in a dry air mass. Few clouds may develop here, but highs should generally remain in the mid 60s here in North Texas. Here's the end of the forecast period on Saturday, the 2nd of December. Heights are about where they should be for us, and things remain dry and quiet. But you can see for the numbers for the next 16 days, average high basically in the mid-60s. Highs basically averaging in the mid-60s for the next 15 days as we close out November and go into early December. But no need to derail from a nice consistent forecast. Cool nights and pleasant days ahead with abundant sunshine. That's it for the Texas weather discussion video for today. I'll have more notes in the blog. My next video here should be posted at around noon on Friday. No Texas weather discussion video for tomorrow on Thanksgiving Day. If you can't catch your local TV stations on the air at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great Thanksgiving Day and Godspeed.